riders ready.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Laverne. Y'all already saw stage 2, which was a 60.6 mile road race. This is stage 3, which is the crit, kind of like a Grand Prix course. Pretty cool little setup we got going here. Sorry this is taking so long. I think this is probably the most frustration I've held in my body since a race in like I don't know how long. So obviously this is time-based. It's a stage race and GC is on the line. I personally am not here to race for 5th place GC. It seemed like maybe a few others were, and that's fine if that's your goal, but mine is the top freaking box. So for me, it's first or DNF. So I guess first things first, and what we have to talk about is the current situation in GC. So the day before, there was a break up the road. There were 4 guys, and they got 22 seconds on the main group of finishers, which was about 20 of the rest of us. Myself and Zach on my team with Deus Velox, we finished in that pack. Zach took the best of the rest field sprint. And so first thing we got to do here is talk about who was in the break and who is dangerous today, and then also whose responsibility it is to chase each other. First person on the list is our friend from Subaru Santa Monica. He's sitting, I believe, 2nd in GC. The other individuals here are the Mitchell boys. They are about fast as it gets, and so they're, of course, a worry. And they're actually leading GC. I believe Caden is leading GC. Actually, you know what? I'm not sure if it's Caden or Kyle. They are twins, so give me a break. Those boys, though, are, I think, 1 and 3 in GC. And then we have these 3HC Phoenix guys who are also on the list. They are also, or actually just one of them is sitting top in GC as well. So those are the people that we're watching, and if any of them go, they basically have a responsibility to chase one another. So let's dive into kind of what's happening in the race. First lap flyer, the Subaru rider goes flying up the road right off the bat, and the Mitchell brothers start chasing. Now, they were rotating with each other really well. You can see Kyle is, slotting back in here, and the 3HC Phoenix guys are at the front. You would think that they would work with the Mitchell boys to bring this Subaru rider back. I was extremely confused here. Maybe you guys can shed some light on this in the comments, but I don't understand what they were doing. Every time Caden and Kyle would be rotating or helping to pull the Subaru rider back, the 3HC Phoenix guys would insert themselves in the train and then ruin the rotation. So it was almost like they didn't want to bring the Subaru rider back, or they didn't care. They were only riding against the Mitchell boys, and I didn't understand that whatsoever. It was extremely negative racing, and it wasn't even like they were throwing a flurry of attacks and counterattacks at the Mitchell brothers. So basically it was left just to Caden and Kyle to do all the chasing. And of course, like myself and our team and the rest of us, 20 guys or whatever, we want them to burn themselves out and do the chase. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to help them, but at the same time, you would think the 3HC Phoenix guys would help them. So that blew my mind. That was actually frustrating to me because this dude was like flying up the road. He's going to ride away with GC, and the Phoenix dudes just wouldn't do anything. They would just sit on the Mitchell brothers' wheels and stare at them. And I mean, yeah, they were well marked. I don't know what the strategy is, though. So I have no idea why that's happening. But basically what happens is it allows a Subaru guy to get a massive gap because they're just playing games the whole time. So that's where we're currently at. And as you can see, Caden is on the front and he's drilling. And the dudes have been up there forever doing the work. And as you can see here, 3HC Phoenix dudes just sitting up on the front, not doing anything. So Subaru Mans is just riding away with the race, and it's already pretty much over. So later on in the race, actually, I was sitting next to the Mitchell boys, and I was like, dude, like, are you guys gonna be able to do it by yourselves? I don't know. So they actually start attacking, which makes a little more sense, right? If they're not going to get any help, then you might as well start attacking these 3HC Phoenix dudes. I don't know. And so it just gets real weird at the front, and I was just trying to keep good position here. So it's just basically this for like the first 20 minutes of the race until you kind of realize, like, hey, they're not going to be able to do it, and they're not going to be able to bring him back. So I'm having that realization in my head. And now my personal goal, which I haven't talked about yet, is to get the F off the front of the race. Like, straight up, like I said, I'm not here to ride for 5th. If I finish in this pack, I am riding for, at best, 5th place. So basically, the idea is that I need to get up the road, and I need to put in more of a gap than 22 seconds. So as I realize, like, hey, they're not going to be able to bring this guy back, I realized that, okay, it's time to get off the front, and I need to start doing whatever I can to make that happen. Now, that can be attacking, that can be following attacks, whatever, but this is where the race gets really absurd for me. All right, folks, so, you know, I'm actually pretty impressed with myself and my patience overall in this race, because I actually waited until the 25-minute mark to start acting a fool, man. But from here on out and the rest of the race, oh, good Lord. So this is where we're at. We're 25 minutes in, and as you can see, there's a small group that gets off the front, and I'm like, okay, it's bridge time. Even if we bridge to the Subaru Santa Monica guy, if we get enough gap, we could end up, you know, taking the rest of the GC spots from the Mitchell boys and the 3HC guys. So we're coming into the chicane. There's a gnarly headwind in this chicane, and so stuff was like slowing up, but as you can see, it's strung out right now. But I was basically trying everything. So I was attacking when it was hard. I was attacking when it was not hard. I was attacking when it was slow. I was attacking in the headwind. I was attacking here basically right before we turn a right-hander into more headwind, like a head crosswind. And the idea with that was to hopefully put in some separation. Patrick English with flex, also throwing some haymakers today, trying to do the same thing. So props to him for trying to get up the road. But as you can see, Caden is in front of me. I kind of gave it the beans there, but a lot of people followed. The whole peloton knew that that was dangerous. So, of course, everybody's like immediately like, all right. You know, as soon as they sit up after a small chase effort like that, I'm like, all right, time to send it. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to roll it. But you can see that, like, the peloton response is wild. Kyle covers it. He's on it as well. I mean, they know, too, like, if we get up the road, we're going to take those GC slots from them, especially if we start working with this Subaru guy and just put in more and more of a gap. So I realized pretty quickly that, like, yo, I'm caught. This is going nowhere. The whole peloton's here. So some people finally pulled through, but this attack and then, like, slow way up thing, like, it just doesn't do any good for anybody, and it just lets that Subaru guy get more of a gap. So that's kind of what's happening here is, you know, we all realize this isn't coming back, so it's just going to be attack city, man. And so that makes it a super surgy race, and that's what we're going to get, man. And I definitely contributed to it. So that's attack number 1. Let's see what else happens. All right, so literally, like, probably half a lap later, we're coming into the chicanes again, same lap that you just saw, and I'm thinking, once again, okay, move up in this crosswind section. It was just a really hard chase. Everybody's sitting up. 3HC Phoenix guy is bridging to the folks up the road, and then they start sitting up on the front and kind of blocking. Now, I don't really have alarm bells until I realize it looks like Kyle is kind of pushing here too, and so I'm like, maybe I can get some separation in the headwind when he pulls off. So I jump here, and I'm like, I just want to get across to the 3HC guy. That is a success. And so I yell at him, let's go. But dude, look at what it caused behind me. Like, people are sprinting. And so yeah, apparently 25 minutes through the race also though. This is like the sprint points preem or whatever, mid-race. And so I look around, realize we've got a gap. And I'm like, yo, we got a gap. We've got the GC leader. The 3HC Phoenix guy is on my wheel. Like, if we work together, that's not a podium for me. But if I, like, attack off of this break maybe a little bit later or something, that might work. So anyway, I was thinking like maybe this would be cool to roll this and try and bridge up to the Subaru guy. At the very least, we bring him back or whatever, but I even said, I was like, we should have rolled that. And I really think we should have, you know. It probably wouldn't have been good for me, but it would have been good for them maybe. So anyway, yeah, Patrick's in that little like sitting up flyer here, making people get on the gas. But dude, look, Mitchell boys are just working hard to stay attached. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna go to, oh man, key point here. I'm talking to Zach right here, and I'm like, yo man, I need help. I'm working my butt off up here. And the man is on like a 500-pound rental bike because he broke his frame the day before. So, you know, that's cool. That basically, though, put Zach in a really bad position. He wasn't able to really like counter or really get in position that easily and have a lot of snap just because, you know, yeah, it's like, imagine running in like shoes that are 5 times too big. That's what was going on. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump to the next attack because I kept doing it. All right, so here we are. This is legitimately, once again, about half a lap later. So, you know, as usual, Kyle, Caden are on the front. There's one 3HC guy up there. Actually, no, there's not. They're both on my wheel, which is sick. But attacks are going up this hill, and I'm like, all right, I got to follow it. Let's go. So this time I'm following attacks. I'm not initiating, right? And so I actually just drill it here, and I'm like, all right, I'm getting across to this. But, you know, Kyle's tired. The whole thing is just, like, attached to my wheel. It's just, I guess, ill-timed, man. Like, I couldn't get any separation. And as soon as I would try, it was like everybody was just sprinting to chase me. Like, I saw another guy's footage already, and legitimately, I was just, like, fast-forwarded to all the points that I was attacking, and it was absurd. And then right here, like, straight up, they want to chase me, and then they won't let, like, they'll straight up let this go with all the GC leaders in it. I'm like, man, sometimes. So my mind is exploding once again. Anyway, all right, fast forward. All right, so I may be completely wrong, but in my opinion, this is the best move I made all day long. Zach is on my wheel. You can see it. I split out left. There's an attack sort of going on the right side here, and everybody's following it. I split out left, and listen.
Launch off me. Go now.
I told Zach, launch off me, go now. So Zach sends it, and I'm like, perfect. I'm going to close the door on this corner because I beat everybody there. And then I'm doing 180 watts. Now, I'm going to pedal just because I would not like for people to come around me, but everybody realizes exactly what's going on, and they know that this is danger zone. And so they'd start sprinting by me. But you can see there's a 3HC Phoenix rider in there, and everybody's immediately covering it. They know, like, all right, we got to get up the road. So, man, I thought that was dangerous, but this is pretty funny, too. Kyle says, nice try, Dalton. So, yeah, that was, like, my best attempt at getting anybody up the road besides myself. So, Zach goes up the road, and everybody chases him. They're glued to him as well. And I just kept thinking, like, man, like, maybe, just maybe, one of these will cause the elastic to snap if everybody's tired. And guess what? That's not the case. So, guess what? Let's fast forward to another attack. Probably. I don't know. Let's see. All right, so Zach and the East Side boys have been wrangled in, and we're in the chicanes. 3HC Phoenix guy goes. I'm like, sweet. At this point, I'm looking to work with these guys to get across to the Subaru guy instead of anybody else because nobody else will help me. So me and this man's are sending it, but once again, everybody in the entire peloton chases. So, you know, I'm drilling. We give it a good little diggy dig, and I'm cruising, and I'm gonna rotate through, and immediately I realize everybody is right here. So the funny part is we actually had the Subaru Santa Monica rider within 7 seconds. So after Patrick with Flex attacked, we brought him really, really close, and everybody chased. And then everybody caught me, and then they caught Patrick, and then nobody wanted to pull through. And so he increased his gap by like 40 seconds directly after that. So, yeah, as you could see, that didn't go anywhere either. And I'm starting to think that maybe these are ill-timed and probably terribly done. All right, so fast forwarding here. This is the last lap, and at this point, I have no more energy to do anything other than try and stay in position. With 2 to go, I was actually pretty smart and had myself like, 10th wheel, which is sitting really nice. And then I lost it because I was dead tired and I couldn't really, maintain that spot. I mean, it costs you some serious wattage the last laps to stay in position. So at this point, I'm like, all right, I got to move up. 3HC Phoenix guy also wants to get the dub in the sprint because basically at this point it's coming to a sprint. Subaru Santa Monica Rider is still off the front. I'm dying, man. I'm doing like 400 watts here. Heart rate pegged. So I'm just trying to get in position and move up. People are sending flyers. That basically means the swarm is going to happen. But I was really glad I was just on the left side here. Kind of gave myself a lane because it allowed me to sort of grab some wheels and just push forward when I needed to. Now, do I think this is going to stick? Probably not. But, oh, quick note also, another rider shot himself up the road with like 4 to go. And he stays away for second. So not only did we not race for first, we didn't race for second in this race either. So anyway, I'm toast, man. Like, I don't know. I can't really move up. I'm just dying. And I kind of know the writing is on the wall here. So realistically, like, nothing matters at this point. I mean, I guess minor placings. Maybe I could have sprinted for points. But a note, the field is down to, like, 40 guys. So points are only going to go, what, like 4 deep? Because basically with a stage race, if you don't finish the stage before, then you cannot race the next day. So, like, half the field didn't finish the day before, so we're down to, like, half the field today, which made this race a lot harder, honestly. It like, was a lot more surgy because of it. And, dude, right there, I blew it. Like, that was my line on the inside. I had it. I should be 5 wheels in front of where I'm at right now, but, like I've said a million times over, hindsight's 20/20. You think one of these days I'll learn my lesson, but, probably not. I'll probably just continue to do the same stuff. So I'm losing position here because it's absolutely flying through the chicanes. And I know I'm out of position. I was thinking, like, okay, cool. Maybe I can still, like, take a top 10 if I send it. So I also just need to see how much gas I have left at the end of one of these races. So I wind up, give it, like, 1,050 watts for, like, kind of a while, actually. And pass a few guys, sit back down, is what it is. I did not win GC, so yeah, there's that. But anyway, lots of attacks. Did not have a good time. And if you haven't seen stage 2 yet, that one's pretty sick, actually. That was a good day, besides all the crashing and broken bikes and everything else that occurred. So check out that video. I'll put a massive card right in the middle of the screen so it's easy to click. Oh, like this video if you want to hear more of me blabbing about racing. That would be cool and make YouTube love me a little bit more. Anyway, see you guys in the next one.